I'm just going to chuck this in from the start. Quick thing. 1, video's too long. If you've seen the others, I keep doing that, splitting it into, cool. 2, this video is going to be slightly different in that I don't have any pictures or video to put in with it. So it's just going to be me telling you a story. Probably 2 stories, I think, from where I'm up to in the editing of just kind of the day that I had when I was traveling into Cebu to come back in to sort of drop the bike off and stuff. So it's really just going to be me sitting, talking to you, telling you a couple of stories. And yeah, hope you like it. Thanks. Bye. Right. Oh, hello. Welcome back. All right. This is going to be the last one for Cebu, I think. Pretty sure. If you haven't been with us, basically I am talking about my trip in Cebu a couple of years ago, a year and a half ago, something like that. And basically I was doing a motorbike trip where I had no plans and I would travel a couple of hours, find a place to stay cheaply, generally at a good discount because you were booking it within 24 hours of when you were going to stay. And then I would look for something cool to do in that area and go and do that day. And generally the next day move on another couple of hours and do the same thing. So far we've been to multiple different waterfalls, some nice places to eat, some nice resorts, been to like a couple of festivals, like not dance festivals, but like local type fiestas, I think maybe they're called, maybe fiesta. Yeah, met some cool people and yeah, it's been pretty cool. But right now, so if you watched up to the last one, I'd been to Temple of Leah, I can't remember how you say it or which one it is, but anyway, I'd gone back over to where I was staying, and now basically today the plan was ride back over the mountain again into Cebu city itself, through the city over to Mactan Island, or Mactan in Lapu-Lapu Island, I should say, which is near the airport, and find where I'm going to stay there for one night, drop the motorbike off, which I picked up from Lapu-Lapu at the start of the trip, and then fly out the next morning. So yeah, let's go into it. So basically, so I'm at this Red Doors resort. So I'm going to check out from there. They need me to pay for, I guess, the 2 nights. I can't remember if I was paying for the whole nights or if I was paying for something I'd eaten. Maybe I was paying for food that I'd eaten or something like that. Anyway, the problem with the Philippines, and there's not much that I don't like. I like pretty much everything in the Philippines. I love the people. I love the location. I love the warmth. I love the people are happy and friendly and cool. The food is delicious. It's savory in places and sour and a little bit spicy in some places. Not very spicy. I prefer spicy, but not very spicy, but sour and like vinegary. Oh my gosh, it's delicious. Food is excellent. Just the scenery is amazing everywhere outside of the cities. There's pretty much, I pretty much love everything. The roads can be a little at times, but also amazing at times. So that kind of balances itself out. The only thing that I really don't enjoy there is almost everywhere, especially if you're going cheap. Like I'm a bit of a tight ass. So if you're going cheap and you like to eat local foods from Carinderia, or you want to go someplace and just eat some local food here, or stay in a cheap hotel. And when I say cheap, that doesn't mean nasty. It means, you know, $20 to $50 Australian a night. More often than not, they're really good, but they're cheap. A lot of places throughout almost everywhere, except for hotels in the Philippines that I've found, or maybe restaurants and stuff in the cities, but pretty much when you're outside of the cities, you need cash, which is fine because it's not that hard to get cash. I know some people say, oh, ATMs run out of money all the time and all that. I've never had that problem, but in saying that, I also always grabbed like a decent amount of cash to bring with me. The issue I do find is you go to an ATM and you take out cash, you get all $1,000 notes, or 1,000 peso notes, I should say. Or you go to a money changer and you change it, and unless you're thinking about it at the time, which I'm normally not, I'm usually sitting there going, oh, I've got all this money and now I need to quickly whack it into my pocket and hide and get it back to the hotel where I can put it somewhere safe. What I'm not normally thinking about is saying, hey, can you give me 4,000 pesos worth of hundreds and fifties and $200 peso notes instead of a big stack of thousands? Because what ends up happening is you end up going places and you have to pay, and it's like you pull out a 1,000 peso note and they're like, sorry, I cannot help you. Or you catch a trike somewhere, and 9 times out of 10, they can't take they're not going to take $1,000 peso note. Or even if you're in the cities like Manila or something like that and you catch a grab, it might cost you 400 or 500 pesos to get to where you were going. I can almost guarantee, not always, but pretty high chance, if you're in Manila and you say to someone, you're jumping a grab and you go there and you go to give them $1,000 note, they're going to tell you, I don't have change for that. Even if they do, they're going to say they don't because they're going to see you and go, he can afford to just leave me the rest. As I said, I'm a tight ass, so I don't want to leave you the rest. If it was a 950 peso ride and it was a really long trip and I had 1,000, I'd give you that and I don't care about the 50. But if I've traveled and it's costing me 300 pesos or 500 pesos and I'm giving you 1,000 peso note, you're not keeping the rest, mate. I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. But then it becomes an issue of how do you exchange, like how do you get that change? So you've got to say, wait here, and hopefully you've got someone with you so they'll stay there while you run off to try and beg someone to exchange money for you. So that can be a pain. So anyway, the reason I bring that up is I'm at the Ret Doors. I've been there for 2 days. I'd eaten and had a few drinks or whatever. I don't know. Over the course of the time, I had a little bit of bill from eating dinner and stuff. And it was the end and I was checking out and they said, you've got to pay, I think it was about 600 pesos. Maybe it was 400 pesos. It was something like that. But I only had 1,000 peso notes. So I thought it's a hotel. Like most hotels, you can actually go to them and go, hey, I've got 1,000 pesos. Can you change that for smaller notes for me so that I can go out and spend my day? And most of them have change. Admittedly, like I said, this place was kind of run down, kind of old. I don't think there was anyone else staying there. I'm not sure how many, maybe there was, I don't know. But anyway, they said, it's going to be this much. I gave them 1,000 pesos and they said, we don't have change. I'm like, what? You're a big, like you're a resort, you're a big hotel. How can you not have change? And she's like, I'm sorry, sir, we don't. I'm like, okay, cool. What do you want to do? Because I'm not giving you 500 pesos, especially considering, and not to be rude, but especially considering it's advertised with like these pools and all this stuff and TVs and all that, like it's all this stuff that wasn't there or didn't work or even my door didn't lock. Like I wasn't feeling generous. Let's just put it that way. I wasn't angry or anything. I just was like, nah, go find change. And so that took them probably 45 minutes for them to get, I don't know how much it was, 500 pesos, 600 pesos, 400 pesos, something like that in change. I don't know. That was weird. Another thing that was kind of weird with that was one night when I was coming back, they have it's quite a big bit of land where this resort was, and they've got a great big gated fence that they close, and there's a guy who's supposed to be there, like a guard that's supposed to be at that gate all the time. And so I came back at like 9 o'clock at night and that gate was closed. There was no gate guard. He wasn't there. I don't know where he was, but I banged on the door and I called their phone for the place, and I was trying to climb over the fence and couldn't get over it because I'm, not able to climb over fences because I'm heavy. I didn't know what to do. And like eventually, like maybe an hour of me sort of stuffing around out there, the guy came and goes, "Oh, hello, sir." I'm like, "Where have you been?" He goes, "Oh, I was with my girlfriend." All right, cool. Thanks for making me wait for an hour and a half outside while you were, whatever you were doing. Anyway, so I don't know. Go and stay there and try it for yourself. Maybe I had a bad run. Maybe I just got the bad room. Maybe I got the night that his girlfriend happened to be in town. Maybe the pool's fixed now. I don't know. Maybe all the things are fixed. And maybe $50 a night is good value for it then. Moving on. So we left there. I left there. There is no we. We was back in Manila. I think I've said that. I left there, up over the mountain, stopped at the coffee shop again that I spoke about in the last one. Excellent coffee. If you're traveling over between where Temple of Lee is and where I was, there's only one coffee shop. It's right on the top of the mountain. Definitely go there. It's good. Got coffee, continued on over, and I'm coming back down the hill now. And it's pretty steep, and you're coming down into Cebu City. And I'm pretty comfortable riding a motorbike through the city. I don't really have problems with traffic and all that sort of stuff. It's okay. But I don't know the city, so I had Google Maps open on my phone, which was sitting in a cradle in front of me. And I was just following where it said to go. And sometimes Google Maps kind of looks at the amount of traffic in an area and it tries to find shortcuts for you to avoid traffic. obviously it did that this time. So I'm coming down this hill. Anyway, there's a main road I can see, like, a couple of kilometres down the hill. There's clearly a big main road that's going left to right. But it's telling me, Google Maps is telling me to turn into this side street here and cut through. And I'm like, okay, maybe there's a lot of traffic down there. I'll just follow what Google says. So I turn left and I turn into this side street, and it's kind of residentially. And then that takes me down into another street, which is smaller, and then into another street, which is smaller. And now I'm kind of getting into like a slum-ish type of area, like these all corrugated iron, sort of tin sheddy type things, which lots of people living jam-packed together. And I'm like, okay. And that road became a one lane road type thing, not one lane either way. Really, one car could get past you or a bike either way type thing. And then it sort of turns me down another street, and that street becomes kind of like it's not really a street anymore. It's more of you can ride your motorbike down there. I'm sure the locals will use it for their motorbikes. And I was riding down there on mine, but it's really I'm on the bike, and I've got about that much gap on either side of me, but to where the buildings are. And I'm like, well, this is, and it was looking fairly sketchy. Like I'm getting down there, I'm like, this is probably not the safest place to be. And I've got a huge, great big backpack on, and I'm clearly white, and not that that matters. And like I said, everywhere I've been in the Philippines, everyone's been nice. But I know that not everyone's nice everywhere. Do you know what I mean? There's always going to be something. So this is the type of situation that, as a traveller, I would probably have tried to avoid had I realised what I was getting myself into. And I was getting a little nervous because it's getting tighter and tighter, and I can see that it's only 2 or 3 more streets away before I get back onto that main road and I'll be good again. But at the moment, I'm right in the middle of what seems like a pretty slummy slum, and it's clearly not many white people go down there because everyone was watching me, and I didn't have much space between me, and there was no room to turn around, and I had to keep going. Anyway, so I've come around a corner, and sitting in the road directly in front of me now is like, I don't know, 15 or 20 dudes, all with their shirts off, half of them with tattoos on them, and they're all sitting there and they're drinking, I don't know, Red Horse or whatever the whiskey sort of liquor thing is that they drink. I think maybe it's brandy, I'm not sure. Tanduay, maybe that's what it is. Rum, maybe. Anyway, they're all drinking Red Horse and that, and there's like 15 or 20 dudes, all with their tops off, tats and stuff, all drinking, and I come around the corner and they all sort of just go at once, like, all look at me, and they're all like, huh. And here I am, I'm like, well, this is where I'm going to get stabbed. Great. This is how I die. I'm pretty confident this is not going to work out the way that I want it to. I'm like, oh, shit, let's try and sneak past these guys. So I'm like putting along like a walking speed, coming up to them. And as I get close, one of them looks at me and goes, hello, sir. Are you okay? Can I help you? And I'm like, no, I'm okay. I'm just trying to go through here. And he goes, where are you trying to go, sir? I'm like, oh, I'm going over to Lapu-Lapu. But my maps here said to come through here. I think it was a shortcut, but I'm getting a bit lost. But it tells me I have to go down here and around there and there. And he goes, yeah, sir, just follow this one and then turn down here and then down there and then turn, and then you're on the main road and you'll be good. It's good. You go that way. And all of the rest of them now are all sort of laughing because he's speaking English, obviously, and they're not used to that. And he's like, oi, are you hurried? And I'm like, no, not really. And he goes, come and have a drink. Come and drink with us. And I'm like, I'm pretty still a little bit sort of, I've got myself in trouble here. But he was so lovely. And they're all laughing now and having a good time. But I kind of was a bit still a bit freaked out a little bit. And so I was like, oh, no, I can't. I've got to get there. Sorry. But thank you. All right. And they're like, no, come drink. And I'm like, no, thank you. I got to go. Thank you, though. Have a good day. And they're like, okay, bye-bye. Upping. Be good. Take care. And off I went. And so genuinely, I thought I was getting myself into some problems there. Like I thought I was in trouble. And it just kind of proved again how genuinely nice the Philippines are. I'm not sure that those people would be nice like that to everyone, okay? I don't know. But if I was in Australia and I was in some real dodgy area and I came around a corner and found like a group of like dudes, all shirts off, tats all over them, drinking and all that, and they all looked up at me the same, I'm confident they would, like, something would not be great. Like they'd be smart-assy and they'd be talking, like, you know, saying stuff and trying to start an argument or trying to start a fight, or at worst, they'd be, you know, beating the crap out of you and stealing from you. Now, I'm not saying that happens often in Australia, but if I came across a situation like that, that's what I would be thinking. And to be fair, that's kind of what I was thinking there in Cebu. And I couldn't have been further from the truth. It was so awesome. They were just great. They were really nice guys, and I probably should have stopped and had a drink with them, but I didn't. And yeah, but it was cool. It was an interesting little side adventure. I don't know what you want to call it. Anyway, hello again. All right. So this is where I'm splitting it. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, or don't. It's totally up to you. See you next week for the next part, which will also be similar to this, where in that I don't have a lot of video and stuff for it, but it's just going to be a story about something interesting that happened on my last day in Cebu before I flew out. See you next week. Bye.